Hey, what's up, everyone? It's been a while, I know, but I am here, I'm alive, and today I want to share an update on how my game's been going. Long story short, not great. Not terrible, just not a lot of progress. For those that aren't in the know, I've been working on a city-based survival game for a while now called On the Grid, and in the beginning it looked something like this. A small city block. The big gimmick of the game is that you can physically pick up objects, throw them at things, and destroy them in the world, like furniture, to gather your wood, your stone, your metal, and they explode. It's all very fun and chaotic. You also have to physically open doors and windows, which I thought was fun at first, but now I'm kind of on the fence about. Uh, we'll see if that sticks around. And I envisioned this map as more of a tutorial zone, just kind of getting players accustomed to what the game will be. While I'm showing this gameplay, I just want to bring up a couple of things for the channel because I know many of you have been waiting on me to stream again or to upload some new survival game clips. The truth is, I'm just feeling kind of burnt out on survival games. I still love the genre, just burnt out after playing so many in the past year. And I think I want to take my channel in a slightly new direction, or maybe I should say take it back to my roots. I want to share my projects and ideas again. I want to focus more on that kind of stuff rather than coming up with things for gaming content. I think I will do some more streaming again because I do enjoy that. It is fun, but might not be survival games. And otherwise, I've just been trying to game less in my life, do some other things with my time, be more active, work on my projects. So expect to see more of this kind of stuff. If that's your jam, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think about these things. It would really mean a lot. And if it's not your vibe, I get it, yeah. But I don't want you to have your hopes up thinking that I'm coming back to do more Fallout or 7 Days to Die content. Um, it's unlikely, is all. Alright, so with that out of the way, back to the game that I am working on. So, early state is pretty fun, pretty cool. It's having a good time. But why is it called On the Grid, Stu? Well, so you're not supposed to just be in this one little city block, but the goal of what I was developing is it's supposed to be an endless city of chaos that generates block by block. So you are literally always on the grid. And as you may have seen in a previous video, I tried switching to a different template to base my game on. It became more of an asset flip kind of project. That's what I described it as before. And I still don't think it's bad, really. I still bounce back and forth between wanting to do something with that project and the one I'm currently working on, because I do think the template it has a lot of good things going for it. Um, One thing to call out that's been kind of weird is that it performs really, really bad in the engine. I mean, it's just chugging along in Unreal as I'm trying to load the game up. It's brutal for development. But the packaged version, what, you guys would play, is struggling for a different reason. The performance seems great. Not sure why it's so much different, but it's working well. Problem is, it's not using my logic for randomizing the AI, and it's not using the logic for spawning them on the tiles as I approach each new map tile. Instead, it's just dumping them all here on the first tile where I start. It's not exactly an ideal way to play, especially because it's not continuing to spawn new AI as I begin to traverse around the world. Now it's just a huge empty city. Not super exciting, but dang, I really do start to see the vision come to life here. I hope you guys do too. I know it's just driving around. It feels though like the big city that I want it to be. Like I'm so close, I can feel it. But truthfully, at the same time, I know I'm still so far away from it being done in any real capacity. The objects in the world are still destructible, but I need to add an absolute absurd amount of things to them. I envision it being a city that you can really enter into every building, unlike something like Fallout or GTA, where you can explore the city outside, but you can't really go in most places. The small buildings, they're supposed to be places you can go into either kind of fighting security or you're sneaking around trying to get past them, seeing what you can steal, what you can break to get what you need, keep surviving. While the big skyscrapers and tall towers and buildings, those I intend to basically make them like boss room fights. Maybe a small maze to work your way up to the boss, work your way up the floors, but mostly it's just there for fighting. Back to the editor version for a moment, I just want to call out that in the editor, while it is chugging along, I can see that the AI is generating the people randomly like I expect them to, and they're in random locations on each grid as you approach them. That's all things that I want. It's what it's supposed to be doing. So figuring out why it's not working in the packaged version is a fun experience. I may have to rewrite a large chunk of pretty crucial code. So, like I said in the last video update, I decided against continuing that project and I went back to my first version. I figured that the endless map generation just wasn't worth the hassle anymore and that I should try to scale the project down some. Well, for whatever reason, this is my idea of a smaller scale project. This giant map of a city that basically has all the tiles that I was making for the endless mode, but just all together in one city. I do think that it gives better vision of what I want the world to feel like. There's a destroyed part of town, and that's where the zombie infection is starting to break out. Gangs kind of operate out of there. It's like, the rundown side of town, kind of an abandoned area that the city's just letting them deal with on their own. Most of the town, regular uh, city, I should say, it's got farmlands, suburbs, some businesses, all that good stuff. And then on the complete opposite side of the town, of the abandoned side, there is the giant skyscrapers. And it's pretty unfinished over there. It's going to take a lot of work, but basically it's supposed to be like the rich part of the city. And I kind of have a vision for it being like super cyberpunk, futuristic part of town as they continue to grow and get richer and move into a sci-fi future. Those citizens are wearing like, cool outfits and they'll have robot police and stuff like that. And as we see, it is all surrounded by ocean on one end and mountains on the other, which, pretty cool place to live for sure, if you're not in the zombie part of town. It's got a lot going on still, I realize that, and while I've started to fill out the world with some objects, things to break, things to pick up inside of the buildings to make it all feel more real, I can definitely feel the vision coming together again, but unfortunately it is killing performance yet again, and I need to figure out just how to better optimize the objects in the world. It's still pretty bare bones in terms of how much I want to flesh out the world, how much I want to put in the different stores, things like that. So it makes me kind of nervous for continuing when I can already see it starting to struggle. Part of the reason for the struggle, I know, is definitely because all of these objects are physical and chaos destruction. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you can pick them up, they float around, they explode, and that's a lot going on. I get it, I do. So I'm learning if I want this to be the way that the game's going to go. Yet again, I essentially need to rewrite large chunks of the code. I need to make this way more optimized to be able to function as a player is moving around. But running around in the editor in Unreal in this world, it's not terrible. Like I said, it's a little chunky sometimes, but overall, I think it performs pretty good. Throwing stuff and seeing it explode, it's simple, I know, but like genuinely, I do find it fun, and I think others would too. Like, do you think this is stupid? I don't know. Does it make the world more cartoony, more fun, chaotic? Because that's kind of what I'm going for. I want it to be madness while you're running around this chaotic city. And you can see I have the GTA wanted system going on. So you kill a civilian, cops pop up. You got those X's in the top right corner. Yeah, I know it's really ugly right now. The polish comes later. I just need it functional first. I actually three different wanted systems. So there's one for the regular citizens that'll call the cops when you shoot them. The zombie citizens call in zombie cops, which I think is pretty fun. and the cyberpunk citizens will call in robocops. They'll be much more terrifying. And that's about it. You can see there's a day-night cycle, there's a hunger system, fall damage, there's a lot of good stuff. Alright, some bonus content. So, because I was losing my mind working on this giant project and dealing with all these bugs, at some point I decided to take a break. And that's why I haven't had much progress since the last update, because I've been working on a tiny game project. I started this mini project. It's still inside the same game that I'm building, actually, and honestly, for a tiny demo, a little slice of what the game would be, I think it's already pretty promising. The idea is kind of a single player offline version of Rust that is level based. So, like, you go into each level, you start really small and easy. You got to take down like a 2x1 to start, and you get a set amount of cash to buy your guns and rockets from the vendor. And yeah, you try to break into the base. Then you move on to the next level, and it'll get harder. It'll be a 2x2 the next time, or keep going. I'm envisioning the levels following like YouTube Rust bases as time goes on, so you can practice breaking into clan bases, or maybe even a defensive mode, because the building does still work for players, and AI are roaming around and attempt to make it more like Rust, where you have like players countering the raids or defending their base. So there's just a lot of potential there. That's kind of where I'm at now. On the grid, it's still in progress. I do plan to pick it back up, and one of these versions is going to be released as the real game, or maybe all of them into one massive version of a game or something. I don't know. So, anyway, let me know what you think. Anything about any of the versions of the project, or the tiny Rust game that I got going on. I'd really appreciate any feedback, any comments. Honestly, it would mean a lot to me. Like I said, just expect to see more of these kind of things. I plan to start sharing more of my projects, more of my hobbies. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.